Hi, this is Anita from the Reluctant Low Carb Life. One of the main things that you see that we talk about with the Reluctant Low Carb Life is about eating fresh foods. We are advocates for eating fresh foods. And if you're just starting out new to this and you've been eating ultra-processed foods for a while, there's a couple things that we want to talk about, some tips. In fact, we have 20 tips to help you get started with eating fresh foods. One is to shop fresh foods. When you go to the grocery store, shop around the outside of the aisle as much as possible and not in the center, because it's usually around the outside, the fruits, the vegetables, the meats, the dairy, that you will find the least ultra-processed foods. Shop at farmers markets. Get to know some of the farmers there. Check out their produce. Support your local farmers by going to the farmers market. If you're able to, start to grow some of your own food or grow some of your own herbs in your house. Start with just a little bit or start to grow some of your own food. Learn to preserve, can, or process food. I grew up with a mother who did a lot of canning. She did a lot of, we did a lot of freezing. Learn to be able to do those things and make it part of your life. Learn some of those old skills. Buy in bulk and freeze. Buy in bulk and put it in the freezer. Learn to cook. This is a really big one. If you're going to eat fresh foods, you need to learn to cook. I love YouTube. And one of the reasons why I love YouTube is you can learn so much there. There's so many of the different programs I watch. In fact, I become quite a fan for a lot of the cooking shows, and I watch a lot of the cooking shows and just like to see what they're doing with the cooking shows. But you can go on YouTube and you can find somebody showing you how to cook a variety of things. Everything from the basic, to the more complicated. You can find people showing you how to make a bunch of salad dressings to, people showing you how to make a pot roast. It just depends upon you. So go and learn to cook. Pre-cook meals to freeze. Learn to pre-cook the meals and then freeze the meals. Plan your meals. I plan my meals every week. I try to make a plan for it. I have things that I keep in the freezer that can be reheated up. So learn to plan your meals. Use a meal delivery service. If you really can't cook, you don't have time to cook, you don't want to cook, there's a lot of these fresh sort of meal delivery services you can look at, and choose one that's not using ultra-processed foods, that's using fresh foods, and use them to deliver to you. Keep a well-stocked pantry. Keep the right things in the pantry, the whole grains, nuts, and seeds, and have things in your pantry so that you won't be tempted to be able to eat junk food, that you'll have the things in the pantry that are healthy. Avoid processed foods, especially when we're talking about ultra-processed foods here. Foods that are, high in sugar, high in salt, foods that are highly processed. Focus as much as you can on natural foods. Read labels. Learn to read labels. It's really great if you can be able to read a label and understand exactly what is in the food. Make smoothies. We make a lot of smoothies. It's hot here. So I make a lot of smoothies, especially in the summertime. And sometimes the smoothie becomes a treat. Make your own smoothies. Learn to make your own smoothies. You can go on to YouTube and a lot of places, learn to make smoothies. Incorporate fresh herbs in your cooking. Snack on fresh foods. And you'll find things that you like to snack on that are fresh foods. Carrot sticks, celery sticks, apple slices, things like that, which are fresh foods. Learn to snack on those. Eat seasonally. As much as you can, learn to eat during the seasons. When the seasons come, learn to eat. I love the fall because I love pumpkin. So learn to eat for the seasons. Don't be afraid to try new foods. Expand your horizons. Try new foods. Try new recipes. Educate yourself. Learn about the benefits of different fresh foods and how they contribute, to your health. I love a lot of international foods. I'm a great fan of a lot of international foods. Specifically, I love Asian foods. I love Indian food. I love Thai food. I lived in Thailand for a while. I like good Chinese food. I'm talking about good Chinese food, the kind that's been done more in China. And I, of course, love Vietnamese food. Vietnamese food is always very fresh. It's a lot of fresh herbs, a lot of fresh vegetables in it. So learn to try some new foods. Get creative in the ingredients you use. Like, try different flavor combinations. Find things that work for you, things that you like. Going back about pumpkin, I mean, one of my favorite soups is a pumpkin soup. And, we make it here using coconut milk. So find things that you like, that the taste that you like for specific types of soups. And make this a lifestyle. Make it a lifestyle for you. Not just something you do, you do like once a week, but really make this a lifestyle. That is why at Reluctant Low Carb Life, we believe in this trifecta of health, which basically is about eating fresh foods. And the fresh foods will help you feel full longer, so you won't eat as much. And by incorporating fitness as part of your life, it's actually a very, very simple formula. It's about, cutting out ultra-processed foods. It's, cooking your own foods as much as you possible as you can. It's about eating foods that are fresh, because then you're going to feel full longer. You won't be tempted to snack or be on junk food so much. And then incorporating fitness as part of your everyday life. If you'd like to be able to read more about our 20 tips, we'll put a link into our blog post, which is basically on our guide to eating fresh foods, 20 tips to get you started. But I just wanted to point out that I know there's a lot of people that are not comfortable in a kitchen. Maybe you weren't as lucky as me and didn't grow up in a house where, we cooked everything fresh. My mother taught us to bake. My mother, taught us fresh food. Even when my parents were older, we made a lot of fresh soup when my mother wasn't able to swallow much. I just grew up eating fresh food. We've always liked fresh food. If you were not that lucky to live in that house, you lived in a house where, maybe your mother or father considered cooking, you open a can of Chef Boyardee or something and they call that food, then you can, though, change. You can learn how to cook. And today it's easier than ever, because you really can just go on to things like YouTube. You can watch some cooking shows. You can follow along with it. They'll show you how to cut up vegetables. They'll show you everything that you need to do. So I really kind of feel like today, in today's world, that even though fresh food is maybe more expensive, maybe it's harder to do, it's not as convenient as the ultra-processed foods, but anybody can learn to cook today, because there's so many resources out there that can help you to be able to learn to cook. So, don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid to take the steps. Don't be afraid to go buy the vegetables fresh or the other things fresh, or go to farmers markets. Learn and make this become part of your life and part of your living, and you will be thankful you did, and you will feel so much better in the process. This is Anita from Reluctant Low Carb Life, where we believe in the trifecta of health, which is freshness, fullness, and fitness. And we hope that you will join with us on this journey. Thank you.